we're now out in the parking lot with Harlan and Tom from Hollywood Electrics. Is that what we're calling it?
Yep.
Yeah. Let's talk about this bike first.
This is the Zero DS. It's made by Zero Motorcycles. They're based in Santa Cruz, California. You got an aircraft-grade aluminum frame. This bike only weighs about 270 pounds. Mm-hmm. So it's got a great power-to-weight ratio. A lot of fun to ride.
Is it... I notice it has sort of an enduro knobby. I guess Ducati made that Moto Retardo thing or something. That
the Hyper Motard
or something.
I think Dax Shepard brought that in.
Yeah,
that was
Dax
the first bike we had.
brought that in. But there's been this sort of renaissance of what I would call an enduro. Which back in the day was just sort of a dirt bike with a license plate on it.
Metal tank and a light.
Metal tank and a light. But now somebody's, like I said, they're sort of a little more travel, knobbies, set up a little bit different, a little higher center of gravity.
Yeah, these guys actually started off making dirt bikes. When they started, starting the company, they figured the best way to get a proof of concept is to start with the dirt bikes and then move on to a street legal machine. So their dirt bikes have been competing against gas bikes and beating them on the track. And now that they came out with the street bikes, they're pretty impressive machines as well.
Well, it's got to be. So for dirt bikes, it was like this evolution of first the 4-stroke thumper guys started coming around, and it took them a little while, but then they started getting pretty competitive, and then which had to be, I don't know, it had to be who's more pissed off, like NASCAR at Toyota for coming in there and fucking with their shit, or is it gasoline-powered dirt bikes
and electric
with electric guys? And are there guys riding on the circuit? I mean, like they're doing the stadium stuff on electric bikes.
They're
now?
starting to, yeah. They're starting
wow,
to, yeah.
That's going to be an insane.
Well, I think like a couple of years ago we went. It was 2 strokes mixed with 4 strokes at the kind of like the tail end of it.
Right.
And the 2 strokes got to be all phased out by now, I would imagine. I'm not sure, but it's going to be the same thing. Because I dug the 2 strokes. Now we're going, man, let's go to the motorcycle, a bunch of electric bikes and a couple 4 strokes.
It's
turning
really
around.
The guy that's going to suck for the announcer, because the guy's down there doing these, some go, some blow. We ready when the green flag drops, the bullshit stops. He can't go up. Is your bike turned on?
Yeah.
It's on. Yeah! Come on down to Anaheim Stadium.
There's not going to be guys in the pits running around with quick start, sparking them up.
Yeah, all I'm going to need is some little dry ice canister or something, because I need that 2-stroke poof.
You're thinking right along right. You're thinking electric NOS.
That's right. I need something coming out. I need just on the dirt stuff, the 2-stroke, when the guys are sitting there. And another thing I'm going to miss too is when the guy dumps his bike and it stalls and he jumps on. Yeah. He's crazy trying to kick the thing and get the thing going.
So not only does this bike not have a kickstarter, it doesn't have a clutch or a shifter or any gearbox whatsoever. It's direct drive. You can see the electric motor's right there. That's the entire motor.
Right.
And it is connected to the rear wheel directly with a chain.
And you start it and throttle on the right, and
yeah, you got your throttle, your front brake, and your back brake just where they normally are.
Right.
So the only thing that's missing is your clutch and your shifter.
Right.
And you know what? Like you were saying with a motorcycle, taking a car off the line and all that torque, you also don't have any shifting lag.
Yeah.
Right.
You hit the throttle and it just takes off smoothly. And you're really, you're like at 50 before you know it.
Now the battery packs on these, are these lead acid or lithium or
lithium?
Lithium.
Yeah, the lithium technology has really come a long way. This is actually a landfill-approved lithium battery. It's safe for disposal. Obviously, they're developing ways to recycle the batteries and reuse them, but it's totally safe for the environment.
It's essentially a zero maintenance machine, right?
Hence the name of the bike?
Zero. Yes. You get from point A to point B about as quickly, cheaply, and cleanly as you can, and then not only that, so it's pretty much. And how much does something like this cost?
So this one is $99.95. It also qualifies for the state and federal tax incentives, which will knock it down to about $7,500. And then it's about a penny a mile in electricity.
So a penny a mile.
Yeah, like you said, there's really no maintenance to do other than putting air in your tires, adjust your chain and put a little oil on it every once in a while.
Sure.
And, check your brakes.
What is an average automobile a mile? I never figured that out money-wise.
Well, you figure that just in gasoline, if you're driving a car that gets 25 or 30 miles a gallon, and you're paying almost $4 a gallon over here.
Right.
I mean, right there, that's a.
Well, that's also a fun factor,
but
too.
not to mention all the brakes and pads but all the internal combustion stuff.
Right, the engine maintenance.
Engine
maintenance adds up. You've got to take that in for a 10,000 mile tune-up or whatever. Especially on a motorcycle. A motorcycle, it's not like you just run down to your local, Jiffy Lube or whatever and get an oil change.
Yeah.
You take your Ducati in for an oil change and a tune-up. That's about $1,000 you're dropping every 6,000 miles.
Now for these, you find guys coming in that are looking at these are looking at from a green perspective, or they like the idea of a sporty bike that's kind of green. What are those guys coming in and buying?
We really get all types of people. Some are looking to get on a green vehicle, but don't necessarily want to drop the dough on a car, which is an electric car, which is significantly more expensive, or they don't want to wait for it. I mean, only now are the electric cars really becoming available, like the Nissan Leaf and others. And these have been available for a couple of years already. Then you've also got like the first-time riders who, they've always wanted to get on a motorcycle, but maybe they were too intimidated by the whole clutch and shifting thing, or the fact that you got a engine that you could burn your legs on and the hot pipes, or
maybe they intimidated by the stuff that was fun about motorcycles.
You do have to have a motorcycle license in order to get on one of these and own one of these. And the thing is that it just teaches you how to drive aggressively and defensively at the same time during that class period. The thing is about these is they're great commuter vehicles. Now, when you have a motorcycle, essentially you almost have like a VIP pass to get through the traffic, right? The only thing that's stopping you is the red light or the stop sign. Aside from that, you just cross right through the traffic, especially out in LA here. I mean, we have like 350 days of sunshine. You don't have to worry about 15 days of rain, so
there's nothing. The best part about the bike was obviously splitting the traffic, but the freeway traffic where everyone's going, 8 miles an hour and you're going 38 miles an hour going in between everyone, that was fine. But the best part was when you'd get to a stoplight and it would be stacked up. Yeah. And you knew if you're in a car, it's about 4 cycles before you get
right
just
to the
sliding
front.
right,
amazing, exactly.
right to the front of the thing. Here's an intelligent question that I'm going to mispronounce, but the regenerative braking, which I always mispronounce, which is obviously part of the electric car, which seems like a little too much weight or a little too much whatever for these things. Is this on the horizon?
Actually, some of the bikes already have some regen.
Smart. Yeah.
The challenge is that the regen comes from the electric motor. The electric motor is effectively turning into a generator. And with the motorcycle, and just like a car, most of your braking is done with the front.
Uh-huh.
So you're doing 80% of your braking with the front, which doesn't have any sort
Unless you're on my Elsinore. 100%.
You could have used some regen
10% in the front would have been a gift from God. I'm surprised that this is as inexpensive as it is because of all the technology that's involved with it. And again, when you get the kickbacks from Uncle Sam, you're right in there with any other form of internal combustion vehicle, especially motorcycle. And then again, just the not pennies per mile, but like penny per mile. Now, this is made by who?
This is made by Bramo. It's the Bramo Inertia. They're based in Ashland, Oregon.
And so this stuff's all American.
Yeah, all our motorcycles are made in the U.S. These guys have been around for a few years as well. They started off actually developing the aerial atom. So they started off with a gas vehicle, and then they realized that the benefits of an electric vehicle, and as they were going to the drawing board developing their electric vehicle, they realized, you know what, a two-wheeled electric vehicle would make the most sense.
Yeah.
So they dumped the aerial atom project, sold it off, and they developed the Bramo Inertia.
Yeah, and it's really taken off because you see those aerial atoms all over the place.
I know one of them.
When I go to pick up my kids at school, it's all the aerial atoms and all lined up.
Yeah.
Jay Leno's the only guy who's bought one of those things.
Yeah.
And then what's the price on this one?
So this one's $79.95, and again, it qualifies for the state and federal tax incentives, which in California will drop it down below $6,000. And it's, again, a penny a mile in electricity to ride.
Jesus, I never thought about the electric motorcycle until now. This has been life altering.
And you know what? You've got the equipment that you're used to seeing on bikes, the Marzocchi front forks, Brembo brakes. It's got an Elka rear shock. So it's all high-quality stuff that you would expect.
Yeah, what about the anti-lock brakes? Are those part of the electric bike lexicon?
Not at this point. I'm sure in the future. It's still not every motorcycle is equipped with that either. I think a lot of people like a little bit more control over their brakes, or maybe they're just, it's another one of those things that people are still getting used to the idea of.
We want the ability to wash out and dump it if need be.
I know.
The guy sold my Ninja to did that as I was standing in the driveway, holding his cash, waving goodbye. Boom, dumped it, pushed the bike back, and gave me the. I need my money back, and I couldn't go. I already bought a pickup truck because I was holding it. He then snapped the peg off the shifter side, and he wanted no part of a motorcycle at that point. I was forced to ride the bike to a motorcycle repair shop with no peg on the shifter side, which by the way was a weird foot floaty move I was doing. It cost me like $200. It was in the recycler. A guy called like the next day, said, "That bike's still for sale?" I was like, yeah, kinda. And ended up selling it to the next guy and just giving the guy his that money back.
Less
$200. I feel like a born again Christian. This is really cool, especially this little mother right here. So toss out your website in case people want to get hold of you.
Yeah, find us online at hollywoodelectrics.com. You can also find us on Facebook and Twitter.
And Ganz, I got to go do another podcast. Were you going to take one of these things around the block?
No, you are, man. Roll. Just do a quick roll. You got it.
All right,
You're the bike,
all right. I got to feel it. Hench is going to get pissed. All right, let's do this one. This one seems like more. This one seems like more fun.
Nice.
Nice.
Go for it.
All right, take it easy.
So there's no clutch, no shifting. Don't try to rev it.
So is it on now?
It's going to turn on in a second here.
Okay, and there's the brake. Am I live now? Okay. Wow. The one good thing about the Jufro is it's like one size fits all with the helmets, you know what I mean? It's like thanks, that was fun.